What's good, everybody? Welcome back to more DCC Wrestling. Today, we are going to be reviewing Wrestlemania 39. Now, it's been a week or two now that we let this decision marinate it. Uh, we don't get into that decision and what happened in the main event between Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes and where we see it ultimately going. But WrestleMania was a tremendous pay-per-view or premium live event, what they call it. Night 1 and Night 2 were fabulous, and this had the potential to be one of the top 5 WrestleManias of all time, in my opinion. Had to be. But some finishes maybe ruined that to a lesser degree. So let's kick off with Night 1. We have John Cena versus Austin Theory for the United States Championship. Now, John Cena ethered Austin Theory in the build up to this match. And this really didn't have no heat, really, per se. In my opinion, outside of that promo exchange with Theory and John Cena. Theory cut a promo in an empty arena setting. I didn't watch the promo. Maybe you watched the promo. Did you enjoy the promo?
Yeah, it was pretty nice. Different pace. I mean, I don't know if it was a subliminal message or whatever. Like, you can't see John Cena, right? So maybe I don't know. Maybe that was the thing behind it. I don't know. Or maybe they just didn't have time on the main show to probably build it. Who knows? Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I liked it.
Okay, the entrances for John Cena. I particularly like the entrance for John Cena when he had the Make-A-Wish kids with him. Since he's pretty much probably like the number one person when it comes to Make-A-Wish. I think he had the most witches in Make-A-Wish history, if I believe.
Yeah, the most infamous.
So at least when WWE tells it, that was a great entrance. Austin Theory had a pretty cool entrance as well, entering from the side of the arena. Now, when it comes to the match was just a basic match, though. Very basic. Nothing too crazy. The only noteworthy thing in the match was the low blow to beat Cena, and that was really it.
Yeah,
I mean, you got the physical tap from John Cena when he made Austin Theory tap out, but I think the match went the way it was supposed to, though. Like the heel going over and telling the original babyface that he'll get the one up on the babyface with a low blow, but Cena still saved face with the visible. Well, not
maybe that was a little bit of karma coming back on Cena. What Cena telling Theory to work on the last part in the promo or whatever. The dick slap or whatever. And that ended up being playing part in the finish, the low blow. So maybe it was a little bit of karma coming back to serve Cena. Right man went over Austin Theory. The de facto lead champion on Monday Night Raw. He had to go over. He does. The win does more for him. Maybe Cena ain't got it no more like he used to. This match wasn't as really, Cena's last couple of matches haven't been really that great. Just cookie cutter stuff, which is understandable. I mean, he at the age where he don't need to do all that and carry a match per se. But when you get a big name like John Cena to come back, to do a one-off or whatever, you expect not gonna say a banger of a match, but a pretty good match. This was, I feel like it was just going through the motions, kind of, sort of. John Cena, the typical John Cena match here in the recent years. You know what I mean?
I would say this went about the way I expected it, to be honest, because at this point John Cena is a part timer now, so he do matches every once in a while. So yeah. I won't expect like the typical John Cena performance like he used to deliver, because back then he was full time. He had match after match after match.
Yeah, but Edge Edge at the same, like the same pace as him. I mean, Edge putting on. I ain't saying every match Edge has is great. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, he does put on pretty good matches with some of the people he in the ring with. I mean, Rollins. I mean, him and Reigns had a pretty good match, right? I don't think he fought. I think he fought one of the Usos. I ain't gonna say it was a great match, but it was okay. Even Damian Priest on Monday Night Raw, what was that, SummerSlam? Who did he fight at SummerSlam? Seth? No, it wasn't Seth Rollins. Who was that?
Who, Edge?
But, yeah, but was it one in Canada or something? What was in Canada?
I think it was a Monday Night Raw in Canada, not a SummerSlam.
Okay, well, regardless, I mean, he still was putting on a good match. I feel like Cena can up the effort a little bit. Granted, he probably don't want to get hurt, him filming and everything, but still, sometimes he can. I mean, this match wasn't bad. It just was over. It was like not blinking, you missed it, but it was like like one of those matches, like getting into the thick of things, and then it's over with. Especially for a match to kick off WrestleMania, you want to get the crowd up and get them going. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Well, for my predictions, I took Austin Theory just because I felt like he's the future of the company, and he needs a win like this over John Cena. Granted, a win like this over John Cena don't amount to much as it used to, but it's still John Cena, so it's a feather in his cap for beating John Cena. Austin Theory picks up the win, and is still the United States champion. Now on to our second matchup is the men's Fatal 4-Way Showcase. Now going into this match, I personally didn't care for it. I just felt like they were just throwing shit together just to sake for getting all these guys on WrestleMania. And the competitors in the match were the teams of Braun Strowman and Ricochet taking on the Viking Raiders, taking on Alpha Academy, and taking on the Street Profits.
You forgot one team. Strowman Shea. I don't care.
You a clown. Whatever. Ain't they damn name. I'm gonna just call them Braun Strowman and Ricochet.
Well, they're gonna have to come up with a team name sooner or later. You got the Street Profits, you got the Viking Raiders, you got what's the Alpha Academy? I mean, Strowman Shea, or I don't know.
That name sounds disgusting.
Rico Man or something.
That name sounds disgusting, by the way. But the match though superseded to what I'm not discrediting the athletes in the match, right? But I just wasn't looking forward to the match because I felt like they were just throwing shit just for the sake of throwing shit and put them on the card. But this match was one of the better matches of night one. It was a certified banger, as Sheamus would say. Everybody got their hot spots in. Ricochet hit this springboard moonsault to the outside at one point. And then Braun Strowman went for the Strowman Express, I think what they call it.
Mm-hmm.
And he was doing it around, and then Angelo Dawkins caught him off guard and trucked him out of the way. That was one big spot in the match. There was another big spot in the match, wasn't it? With Gable and Strowman?
Yeah, the Chaos Theory. Always impressive when Chad Gable breaks that out. Dude's just awesome, hopefully, with Triple H booking things, he gets him a fair shot, maybe at a mid-card title, you know what I'm saying? Just give him a little small run, whatever. But the good thing about Triple H being in creative is we getting more and more Chad Gable, no Shorty G or no crap like that. So, glad to see him do his thing. But every time he pulls it off, it doesn't matter. It's always a spectacular feat because of his small stature and who he's doing the move on. He's always probably a bigger guy. Not that I'm saying he's always a bigger guy than him. For every Braun Strowman, you may get like a Finn Balor or Montez Ford, which ain't that impressive. But if he get him getting those big guys up like Baron Corbin and Braun Strowman, pretty good.
Yeah, great match though, man. I predicted what you call him, Strowman Shea? I predicted Ricochet and Braun Strowman to pick up the win, but I was totally wrong, man. The Street Profits, the most successful tag team out of all the teams in this match, picked up the win. This is a good match and a good win for the Street Profits. It should have been titled the number one contenders match because pretty much that's what it was. They came out and fought the champs the next night on Raw.
But it probably would have been that way if they would have had more time to build it, but they didn't have more time to build it. They should have done qualifying matches. Make the. I don't know if they had more, enough time to build everything, but get these matches more meaning. They don't really have that many tag teams to begin with. So I understand why they didn't do qualifying matches, but I mean, you already throw people together anyway. Just give them a freaking shot, just to make this match get a little bit more heat, build up more, stuff to it to make people actually care. Because initially, when they announced it, I was like, I groaned kind of because I'm like, okay, we've seen these teams before. I mean, other than Braun Strowman and Ricochet, but we're pretty happy for the Viking Raiders getting that moment, on the main show. I don't think they've ever been on a WrestleMania. I could be wrong, at least on the main card. So yeah, I was pretty excited for that.
Yeah. So Profits pick up the win, and we're gonna see what it gets them after their match on Monday Night Raw.
I went on that Montez Ford heel turn, so I'm waiting on. We'll see.
Yeah.
Who's gonna be a star, obviously. I mean, I think Angelo is not gonna be in the bad spot either, but Ford is the guy.
Our next match we have on the card was Seth Rollins taking on Logan Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Now, going into this match, I predicted Seth Rollins to pick up the win here, just because I felt like in each interaction between these two, Logan Paul got the upper hand on Seth Rollins. He eliminated him in the Rumble, cost him the United States Championship at Elimination Chamber, and then in each promo segment they had, Logan Paul left him knocked out from the right hand. So I was like, it only made sense for Seth Rollins to be the one to pick up the dub here, right?
He didn't get no get back in the deal. Yeah. I guess I like them playing in Logan Paul's background as a boxer, whatever. But I think some of that them leaning heavy on the right hand stuff is kind of corny. Because nobody, I mean, I don't take him seriously as a professional boxer. Just something he did. You know what I mean? Like kind of like pro wrestling is something he's done. I don't take him serious at that. But I mean, you gotta build him some way. So, but I mean, going in, we knew this was gonna be a good match just because who was involved. Logan Paul really took to this thing. Fantastic in the ring, good heel, which is what he should be. At the moment of the recording, he just renewed his contract. I think WrestleMania was his last match, so they just renewed his contract this past week. And hopefully we get more matches out of him. Maybe like a Cena match or something like that. SummerSlam. Well, that's far down the line. But this match was pretty good. Up to this point in the show, he's like, okay, who's gonna follow this? And we got that answer here coming up shortly. But it was a pretty good match up to this point. Logan Paul did a WrestleMania 12-esque Shawn Michaels entrance. It was okay. Knockout. We haven't seen anybody do that. Do scaling from the Raptors, quote unquote. Ever since the incident with Owen Hart. So it was kind of interesting to see how they did that. And Seth Rollins having a orchestra kind of entrance was pretty dope. Him coming out, with the guy leading the crowd, and I feel like the crowd could have been a little bit more, like not waiting for Rollins to come out, because like every time when the guy would turn and do the thing, people wouldn't be as loud, you know what I'm saying? They would have the orchestra sound or the Owen sound coming out of the PA system to get the people, you know what I'm saying, up. But when Seth Rollins came out, everybody was singing, you know what I'm saying? I feel like people could have been more involved in the entrance initially, you know what I'm saying? When the orchestra guy was out there trying to, I seen what they were doing. It was pretty dope, though. Pretty neat. I had a vision of it was something like that to the effect. I had a vision for myself coming out doing like an orchestra. It was the exact same thing. It was, I was thinking of it, but I would have had him out on the lift or something, and then him just walking down to the ring and then kind of sort of doing that, you know what I'm saying? Pretty neat, though. It's all good. But nonetheless, good match. They killed it.
Yeah, it was one spot in the match where, so during Logan Paul's entrance, he had the Prime mascot with him, right? And that is his sponsored drink. And at one point, the mascot revealed itself to be KSI, who is Logan Paul's business manager / friend. And they went to put Rollins on the announce table, and KSI was going to take a selfie of Logan Paul doing a maneuver, presumably a frog splash, on Seth Rollins through the announce table. So while Logan Paul was doing this, he's drinking his prime drink, and in perfect time, and Seth Rollins pulls KSI in the way onto the announce table, and Logan Paul delivers the frog splash onto KSI. A great spot, man. Perfectly timed. And Logan Paul, like I said, man, he has a knack for this. They had him in his natural position now, which is a heel. He's always should have been a heel, not a babyface. He's a guy you naturally hate, so he can get natural heat that way. So their match was a banger. Starting at WrestleMania, 3 bangers in a row. Second one didn't expect it. The other 2 you did with Rollins and the Fatal 4-Way. But Rollins picked up the dub. He needed a dub because he's been putting people over for the last year, pretty much. If it's Cody, Riddle, Logan Paul, you name it, he put him over. So he deserved this win on the biggest stage, and he got it. So at this point, we sitting at 2-1. Sitting at 2-1, right? And our next match we have the 6-woman tag team match between Damage Control, Io Sky, Dakota Kai, and Bayley taking on the team of Becky Lynch, Lita, and Trish Stratus. I like the entrances of, well, not really the entrances per se, just the attire that Trish Stratus had on that harkened back to her attire that she had on when she was at WrestleMania 21. Ironically, the last time WWE was in Hollywood for WrestleMania, and I thought that suit was pretty cool. When it comes to the match, honestly, I didn't really care for the match because the build was not great. They tried to make it something, but it wasn't too great. I felt like going into this match, I had predicted Damage Control to win this match. The reason I predicted Damage Control to win this match was because I felt like the entire year since they've been together, they haven't really had no great moment outside of probably Io Sky and Dakota winning the championships at Clash at the Castle, and that was back in September. That's like their biggest match, and they lost like 90% of their matches. The whole saga with Bianca treated them like jabronis. She literally stacked 2 of them on top of them and delivered a KOD. How can you book a team like that to get smashed like they got smashed? And no one takes them serious. They barely get reactions now. So I feel like this would have been a feather in their cap, get a big win on the grandest stage of them all at WrestleMania and beat Becky Lynch, Lita, and Trish Stratus. But I ended up being wrong, and the team of Becky Lynch and them picked up the win. And I felt like this was the final nail in the coffin when it came to Damage Control. And at this point, you have to either break this team up, split them up in a draft or something, or somebody got to turn on somebody in order to get this thing cleared up, because they do not need to be together no more. No one takes them serious, and they missed the opportunity.
I'll disagree with you, just for the simple fact of, I wouldn't be so quick to just break them up just because they haven't been winning, right? What I would do is just shift the players around a little bit, right? So we know Bayley is the de facto leader, right? You agree, right? Mm-hmm. All right. So it's kind of what they're doing now. So Bayley's gotten her chance at the main title, right? Io and Dakota have, relatively been successful, quote unquote, right? They haven't been the ones really losing. Does that make sense? You follow me there? They have been tag team champions twice. Bayley has been the only one really unsuccessful. You know what I'm saying? So you can actually like make another layer to this story, which I think this past Monday they did have Io Sky did win a triple threat match to be, I'm pretty sure one of the number one contenders. And then I think next week they'll do another one. I could be wrong, but she is the number one contender for the women's championship on Raw. So they can create another layer as you just rotate Bayley out of the kind of the leader role, but she's still a leader, right? Then you have Bayley kind of get jealous, kind of like Triple H did with Orton winning. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying Io's gonna beat Bianca, but you just changing the story up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Getting somebody else a little bit of shine, which could be a good thing. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to break them up. I knew starting out that they weren't going to win anyway. Like, you know what I mean? Bianca was still doing her thing, and then when they debuted, Bianca was, in a big profile match at SummerSlam. So you're not just going to go ahead and take the title off her and put it on the next new thing. You know what I'm saying? Where's the story in that? You feel what I'm saying? So I mean, I get it. I don't agree with them losing, as much as they did, but maybe this loss can propel them to something different. Let's just see where it goes before we think about drafting them somewhere else or breaking them up or turning them whatever. You know what I mean? Right now it may seem that way because they feel like they dead in the water, but you just never know. Maybe they may get it. Maybe the people may like EO on top and they could become a babyface team, and then Bailey may not like that. And then maybe either EO or Dakota say they do win the title. Then you get them three fighting for the title. Then you got three established, you know what I'm saying? You got a story there with three established women that used to be tag team partners, road to road. You know how they're going to sell it. Right down the roads together, travel to the towns and whatnot. So, I mean, let's just not at least from my perspective, I'm probably just not just going to say, all right, break up or anything real quick. Let's see where it goes. You know what I mean? We'll see where it goes. Everybody can't be the top champion at once. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
I mean, I can see your point. Time will tell, man.
Let's see.
So, we're 2 for 2 at this point, right? 500. Not bad, not good. So, on to our next match. We have Rey Mysterio taking on Dominic Mysterio. Now, I predicted Dominic to win this match. And I like the entrances of this match, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ex-Con Dom with the officers leading him to the ramp. He had Rey Mysterio's mask. He looked identical to his dad.
Pretty much his freaking attire, though, right? Pretty much his attire from Halloween Havoc, though, right?
Oh, yeah.
Kind of look like that. It looks similar. Look pretty nice.
Yeah, he had elements of that Halloween Havoc attire for sure. Pretty good attire, though. But I think Ray's entrance was probably the best entrance. Because he had him and Snoop Dogg. He had 3 different theme songs. He had Snoop Dogg.
I'll give you he had the best entrance of the night. Probably.
And I like the trunk that said the game is taught not it is to be taught, not sold, something like that. And then he riding a low rider. Then you hear Eddie's entrance theme pops up, which is got that big pop. Gave me goosebumps watching it, And then Rey Mysterio makes his entrance with his theme song. This match, man, was, like I said, this is the second best story outside of the Bloodline story to me.
I wish he would have went to that old school Rey Mysterio song. You know that.
Oh, that who's that jumping out the sky? Yeah, I thought he was.
This is in California, close to San Diego. Yeah.
I thought he was gonna pull that out too. I wanted him to pull that out, but
would have been nice little throwback. Because that was that wasn't Hollywood. No, that wasn't. Yeah, he had that song in Hollywood when they went there, 21. All right. Yeah, he had that song. I mean, whatever. I'm just saying that would have been nice.
Yeah, I was hoping for it, but I mean, his entrance was cool nonetheless. The match was even better though. At the start, they introduced Bad Bunny, so you knew there was going to be something with Bad Bunny, either in the finish or something that's going to lead up to something for Backlash. And that's what we got in this match, right? This is, like I said, the second best story outside the Bloodline story. And this is how you have the crowd in your palm in your hands. When they up, you can just do anything or snap your fingers. They react to it crazy, right? When Dominic threw the water in his sister's face and shit, and his mom slapped him, like the crowd got up for that shit, right?
Dominic was doing his thing, no doubt, bro. I mean, I don't know I don't think it wasn't it was the week before, I think, the Hall of Fame Smackdown. You know what I'm saying? The Hall of Fame, and I think that's when Ray punched him. I could be wrong. I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Doing the build to it, right? So Dominic just messing with his mom and his sister, right? So when he did that on SmackDown before the match was even official, he told his mom to shut up, and you can see her holding so much back. You know what I'm saying? She was literally in tears. I don't know if anybody caught that, but if you ever go back and watch it, she was literally in tears because he had made her so mad. It's a different type of mad because it's like, this is your son telling telling his mother to, you know what I'm saying, and snatching the microphone out her hand, let alone that, it was just so much. This story was perfectly told, from Ray switching brands, you know what I'm saying, contemplating, just leaving the WWE just because he didn't want to fight his son. All the outside stuff, the Thanksgiving stuff, the Christmas videos, fantastic build. The second best story told this past year behind the Bloodlines. So and then the match we got on top of it was fantastic. That's probably that's like LeBron want to play basketball, with his son, right? You got Rey Mysterio in the match, let alone at WrestleMania against his son. Who would have thought that? Watching this stuff in 2005 and 2006, when you see Dominic out there, in the crowd during those matches, or him in the promo section segments on SmackDown or Raw, when they bring them, when they bring the Ray family in, and then just think about it. For Rey Mysterio, I'm pretty sure that's pretty cool to go in the Hall of Fame and then work the next night in a high-profile match at WrestleMania in California, right? Against your son. It probably don't get no better than that. At least for him personally. I would hope so.
Yeah. Well said. Rey Mysterio picked up the dub here. I didn't really care. It could have went either way for me, but I'm glad Ray picked up the W here. So now we're going to probably get something with them. And Rey Mysterio teaming up with probably Legado and Bad Bunny versus the Judgment Day at Backlash. So, man, stay tuned for that. So the saga continues there. And now we get down to two of the matches that were posted. They were either going to be main event for night one. So the match that ended up not being the main event for night one is the Smackdown Women's Championship match between the champion Charlotte Flair defending her championship against Rhea Ripley, who had won the 2023 Women's Royal Rumble match. The build to this match was not great. But like I say, for all pay-per-views, no matter the build, the performers are always going to make something out of the match. It's been told for years now. Whenever we get a shitty build, we're gonna get a great match, more than likely. And this was no different. They was fucking hitting hard in this match. It was some strong style shit going on in this match. At one point, Rhea was delivering these German suplexes, and that third one that she delivered to Charlotte didn't get her fucking hands down. She ate that damn match. She went face first. And she had the stars on her face to show that she went face first into that damn mat. She had like a rug burn like you would get. She got it right on her fucking nose. So if that ain't hard hitting in this match, I don't know what to tell you. This match was a fucking banger. Like the majority of these matches on night one were just phenomenal, and this match was no different. Very hard hitting for both ladies. They wanted to go out there and prove something that they should have been in the main event. Unfortunately, their story wasn't great enough for them to be in the main event. I felt like they shouldn't have been in the main event. That's just my opinion. I predicted Rhea Ripley to win. I'm pretty sure you did the same. And Rhea Ripley came out on top, man. She delivered a top rope riptide, picked up the win. And she is now the new SmackDown Women's Champion, and she's going to carry that brand for the coming months, and we're going to see if Triple H can build better storylines for the women's division.
Let's see what they do in the draft for her. Her going over to SmackDown. I think the draft rumored to take place after Backlash. So let's see what they build towards. I don't see her having a match on Backlash because coming out of WrestleMania, I would build up another Charlotte match. If not, do a fake build, right, to a match and just shoot an angle at the show. Okay, if Charlotte want to take time off. Then that's why you create room for her to get a big match on SummerSlam, build that up. But, we'll see. We'll see where this goes. And, Rhea Ripley was, her whole thing was trying to be a star, right, superstar or whatever, in the build of this match. She's already a freaking superstar, right? Let's be honest. There's a drastic difference from WrestleMania 3 years ago to now. She is, if you really want to be honest, she was the head of the Raw Women's division as far as character is concerned. right? I mean, Bianca may be the champion, but as far as who I was more interested to see, Rhea Ripley. So Rhea Ripley's probably been a star for the better part of the last year. I mean, her joining the Judgment Day just put the bow on the gift. You know what I mean? And let's see what she do on SmackDown. I think they started to tease something with her and Raquel that might get pretty nice. So we'll see what Triple H does with her after Backlash. I'm really this is like the draft is. I'm really excited for this because I feel like Triple H finally gets to put his imprint on the roster. You know what I mean? Like put the pieces he want here. You know what I'm saying, on SmackDown, and put the pieces that he want on Raw and see what he does with that. I mean, picking up last summer was you just picking up Vince McMahon's pieces. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what Triple H can really do and start, building these women up and building these stories up. I'm really excited. I mean, I know people get down on the draft a lot. Maybe it's more the same. I don't know, but I'm more optimistic now that Triple H is behind most of the content, and hopefully Vince stays away and he sees that Triple H being, in charge of the content and the head writer for creative is going in turn make his product a little bit better and make WWE's value just go up because everybody likes Triple H, right? So let's see what he does with Rhea Ripley and even Charlotte. I mean, I'm curious to see what she does from here. I mean, she's getting older. She just turned, I think, 37, 36. She might not have too much more to give, but I mean, she's still the opportunity, regardless of champion or not champion. I would love to see her mix it up with Raquel or Xia Li or Tegan Knox. I think we've seen the Liv Morgan stuff. Io, Dakota. You know what I'm saying? We got some girls in NXT that'll be up. Roxanne, I'm pretty sure Roxanne will probably be up pretty soon. You know what I mean? Zoe Stark. Just new people for her to work with. Don't just shoot Charlotte away. I mean, I know most people don't like Charlotte because she's the ideal image of nepotism. Getting what she wants because of her father's who her father is. Regardless of the fact she still puts on good matches, she's still a great character on screen. Let's see her come back and work with some of these new ladies and mix it up. Actually get Triple H a chance to build some stories with these people and get more eyes on the product for the women. You know what I mean? And this may be the I don't know what the shot in the leg, to propel him, for lack of a better word.
All right, so we have Snoop Dogg and Miz come out after this to announce the attendance for night one. And this led to a segment where we have a surprising appearance and a match right off the rip, right? A match that wasn't announced. And it's between the Miz and a mystery opponent. And who is this mystery opponent, you may ask? It's Pat McAfee. Now, look, I like Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee is one of the coolest guys on planet Earth, right? But he was not needed here. In my opinion, he was not needed here. This could have been a spot to fill for someone else. I'm gonna throw a name out there. Let's just throw Bobby Lashley out there. Something you could have gave him something, right? But they decided to do this moment for Pat McAfee when we just had a moment of surprise with Pat McAfee at the Rumble. I had a feeling like at this point in the show, I was like, okay, we know Pat McAfee is here, so I guess he ain't gonna be here. And then here you go, he pops up, has an impromptu match with the Miz, beats him with the help of George Kittle. A segment that wasn't needed. This segment could have been filled for someone else, either LA Knight or Bobby Lashley. We gonna get to that, and you will see why we say what we say about that. But this was not needed if it wasn't going to be for either Lashley or LA Knight, and it was needed for neither one of them. So then I didn't really enjoy the segment. So let's
Not
get
needed.
You say what?
Not needed.
Yeah, not needed.
Not needed. I mean, maybe this was the Vince. Maybe Vince got an audible because I think it was not speculated, but reported that he was backstage for WrestleMania, and he did have an office in Gorilla. So maybe this was a Vince call. I mean, you just said everything about Pat McAfee. I'm not going, but maybe get a spot to somebody else. I mean, LA Knight was, it made tons of sense. You in WrestleMania in LA, why not LA Knight? Night one. Maybe Lashley smack. I don't know, something. To get them two guys on the card. You can't put everybody there. I understand that, but Pat McAfee does not need another WrestleMania moment after he had two last year. You know what I'm saying? Maybe three. Drinking beers with Austin, having a match with McMahon, even though it was terrible, then having a match with Austin three. That's 3 moments in one night. You know what I mean? He ain't need to. I mean, at least this year didn't need to see him really. I was content with him coming back at the Royal Rumble. It was a big pop, but he didn't need to be here. Just simple and plain.
All right, let's head on to our main event and what should have been the main event of the night, of night one. The best story going in WWE, a layer of the Bloodline story. And this story focuses on Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, and Jimmy Uso, and Kevin Owens. So this story was designed to get two other people outside of the Bloodline over, and it did that with Sami and Kevin Owens. And this match was another great match. Like, me talking about it don't do it justice, man. You just have to go out and watch this match. And a little shout out to the entrances of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, because they made their name in California for real, right? Even though they wasn't in the Indies anywhere else, but they had entrances in the entrances they had shout outs to PWG, which was a company in California where Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn both wrestled. Sami Zayn had the PWG logo in gold on his pants with the Syrian lettering top of it, and Kevin Owens had the PWG logo in gold with "Fight" right there in gold on his shorts. So it was pretty cool, man. I enjoyed their entrances. The Usos came out with Lil Uzi Vert, who played the song what is it, "I Wanna Rock" or something like that. That song's been dominating the headlines or whatever. Pretty cool entrances by both teams. And yeah, another thing to where you have the crowd riding a wave of emotions. The way to take them up, take them down, and bring them right back up. Like, us talking about it do not do it justice. I'm going to just say it flat out.
Yeah.
But one point in the match, the finish of the match, where it had to end this way, right? Where Sami Zayn delivered 3 haluva kits to Jey Uso. It's harking back to the moment at WrestleMania 24 with Shawn Michaels delivering the Sweet Chin music to Ric Flair, where he told Ric Flair that he was sorry and that he loved him for ending his career before hitting him with the Sweet Chin music. Sami Zayn did the same thing here. He run to the ropes, hit him with the haluva kit, and Jey would just be leaning on Sami Zayn, exhausted and tired. And then Sami Zayn put him back up to the turnbuckles, run back, hit him with another haluva kit. Same thing. Just riding an emotional wave, right? Right? And then he'll run back to the ropes, hitting with another haluva kit to finish. Jey Uso pick up the win for Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and they become the new WWE Undisputed Tag Team Champions. Anything?
I mean, no, not really. I mean, you've seen we knew where this was going ever since probably, I don't know, maybe War Games or something. Given who was involved, we knew this match was going to be spectacular. So, not much we can really say on this video to do it justice. Just go watch it. I mean, if you haven't watched it, shame on you, but go watch it. Ain't much else I can really say, man. Just Uso is fantastic. Been doing their thing all year. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, we know what they're capable of. Yeah, man, just 4 great professional wrestlers just going in there and doing what they think, doing what they do, for the love of the profession, love of wrestling on the biggest stage. People dream of that stuff. People don't even get there. And the main event of night. So that's big for the Usos. Usos never main evented at WrestleMania. I don't think a tag team match ever main evented at WrestleMania. So that's just good for the tag team division, just in general. Good for the bloodline. Roman Reigns brought his cousins along to get them to that point, and they picked Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens to work with, and they went out there and delivered that masterpiece. As if you haven't seen it, go watch it. As we've seen, and just amazing. I mean, ain't much else I can really say.
Yeah, that was literally the first time that a tag team championship match main evented at WrestleMania. Not a tag team match, but a tag team championship match. So, you know, props to them, man, for them getting their first main event. Not Kevin Owens. I mean, props to him, but Sami Zayn and Usos. That's their first main event. And to think back to a year ago where everybody was, Kevin Owens was feuding with Stone Cold in the main event of Night 1 last year, and Sami Zayn was in a feud with Johnny Knoxville last year, and the Usos opened up Night 1 last year. And then to come back this year, they all main evented. That's some pretty good storytelling to me, if I say so in my book. But yeah, that was Night 1, man. Night 1 was full of great matches. More bangers than duds, I would say. So, watch Night 1, man. Night 2 opened up with Brock Lesnar and Omos. Match went about as far as you thought it would go. I predicted Brock Lesnar to win this match, and Brock Lesnar ended up winning this match. And I predicted it to go 8 minutes, but it went under 5 minutes. I calculated it went to like 4 minutes and like 57 or 56 seconds. So the match did what it's supposed to do. Both guys flourished in it. Omos got some offense, and it was one point where Brock tried to go for a double leg, but Omos just picked him up and flung his little ass. So that was a pretty cool spot and a pretty good thing for Omos to show his feat of strength against a guy like Brock Lesnar. But ultimately, Brock Lesnar was trying and attempting to get Omos up for either F5 or some Germans, but he couldn't. And then eventually, he was able to deliver the German suplexes, hit the big man up for the F5, and got the 1, 2, 3. So Brock picked up the win here. Match did what it was supposed to do, which was make a good performance for Omos and show the dominance and the strength of Brock Lesnar. Anything you want to add? Or
I think at some point Omos has to start winning these big matches, though, or they just run the risk of him becoming a new Big Show. You know what I'm saying? As you know, I think they kind of view him as probably a Big Show, but I mean, he could have a potential of being like an Andre the Giant-esque, attraction. Not saying he has to win every match, but he does have to win matches, big matches especially. You can't just go on Monday Night Raw and just smash Mustafa Ali or Dolph Ziggler, people who no one cares about. You know what I mean? Just to keep that mystique up. I mean, just think about it. He's lost every big match, and they might view it as it's fine for him to lose just because he's big and 7 foot, so he's never going to be looked at as an underdog. But it can get to a point where if you have a casual viewer just clicking in and they like Omos and he's big, he's 7 foot, and he keeps losing. You know what I'm saying? People are going to be like, okay, he's just a joke. The next thing you know, he may mess around and start dancing like the Great Khali or Shangy or something. You know what I'm saying? So at some point, he does have to win some of these big, high-profile matches if he's going to keep being in them. I think this would have been a good one if Brock would have put him over. But given what would happen the night after, I guess I kind of understand why not. But eventually, he does have to start winning. He can't keep losing these matches. I mean, he's been defeated on premium live events. Other than the tag team stuff with AJ Styles, he's been losing a ton. So I mean, he has to start picking up wins. I mean, he don't have the flashiest offense or whatever. He's still green, but you can still give him a meaningful win from time to time. You don't have to keep beating him. You understand? Because then you're just diminishing his value. You want the attraction that was the attraction. The attraction was Omos and Brock, and the attraction was the F5. Special moment, people taking pictures, whatever. Okay, that's fine. But you got to get the big man a couple wins under his belt. He can't keep losing these. If you have MVP on there on Monday Night Raw, building him up as a unstoppable force, but he keeps getting beaten every premium live event. I mean, what's the point of me getting behind him? You understand? Or fearing him as a heel? I don't if he keeps losing. So you have to build him up at some point. That's all I'm saying. But I mean, it did what it had to do.
I think Omos is served better as a heavy, like a protector type role. But I mean, he had a good performance, but we'll see, man. I'm gonna let you take over the reins for this match. I'm gonna just announce it because I know you had a lot invested. Just don't go on the whole contrive about this match. So the next matchup we have is the Women's Fatal 4-Way Showcase with the teams of Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville taking on the team of Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler, taking on the team of Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan, and versus the team of Shotzi and Natalya. So, take it away, sir.
Okay, so we're recording this maybe 2 weeks after WrestleMania, something like that, right? Okay, given what's going on as far as the women's tag team titles are concerned, this match makes absolutely zero sense. Okay, first off, we had Natalya in the match, which I mean, I like Natalya, but I want to say I think from maybe 35 on, she's had at least a different tag team partner for every WrestleMania leading up to this one. And she's been on the card a lot. I think Natalya, I mean, she's been there 15 years. I think she needed to slide into the role of the Tamina role, just probably being more of a voice backstage. I mean, she could be on TV every now and again and work with new up and comers, but they need to book more different talent in these spots. Before COVID, I'm pretty sure before COVID, we had Tegan and Shotzi, or correct me if I'm wrong, it was either after or before COVID, we had Tegan and Shotzi, who literally, I think they beat Natalya and Tamina or something to get a number one contender match, but they never did get the shot.
They beat the team of Tegan and Shotzi beat Natalya and Tamina, who were the champs then, and
okay,
that match earned them a number one contender match. But Tegan ended up getting fired, so they
yeah,
couldn't have the match.
Going back to my point, he just stated Tegan got released. So then, I mean, okay, they put Natalya and Shotzi in a tag team. Where's Tegan Knox and where's Xia Li and where's Candice LeRae? Where's Mia Yim? Where's Piper Niven? Get these women that spot. I mean, you can't put everybody on the card, but I felt like Natalya didn't need to be on the card. You know what I'm saying? They had already given her a bone by putting her in the elimination chamber for in Canada. I mean, rightfully so. She's from there, but I also thought they could have given that to somebody else. We got all these new crop of women. Give them a shot. That's all I was saying. We get Sonya Deville in the makeshift tag team with Chelsea Green. What happened to Piper Niven? Won they partners the week before or something like that? I'm pretty sure it was. Then they just wrote it off for her being not wanting to be a partner with Chelsea Green. I'm happy for Chelsea Green getting that spot on WrestleMania because a lot of people don't get that. But we could have. I would have loved to see Candice LeRae and Mia Yim get a moment on there. But we got a little bit more of the same. Then we get Ronda and Shayna Baszler just winning the match, and Ronda Rousey gets, even though we know she's hurt. Okay, they always wanted her to win, and she gets in and she makes Shotzi tap. So all in all, this match didn't need to happen. This was the counterpart to which the men's tag team match. That was a good match, and this match just stunk up the joint, I feel like. And then the winners didn't even win the tag team titles. You know what I mean? So this past Monday, Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus just lost the women's tag team championships to Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. I mean, the winners are nowhere to be found. The winners of the WrestleMania tag team women's match were nowhere to be found. I mean, I get it, Ronda Rousey's hurt, but why have them win when you just don't have Liv Morgan and Raquel win anyway? Why not just have Liv Morgan and Raquel beat, Shotzi like Ronda Rousey did? Ronda Rousey, they didn't take. They wanted to taking the pin there. It just didn't make any sense to me. I mean, eventually we're gonna get Ronda and Shayna as the tag team champions. Whatever. Maybe they do something different and build up different teams. But I just felt like this match was just the worst match, probably not the worst match on night 2. We'll get to that later, but pretty close.
I mean, you gotta remember that in that match, Shayna got hurt too, so that's probably why they went to giving the belts to Raquel and Liv at that point. Because if they don't get hurt, they probably have Becky and them hold off on what happened this previous Monday. And you get it later on once they healthy. So
how'd she get hurt?
A lot of the factors probably just factored into them winning that match.
How'd she get hurt?
I don't know. She got hurt. She got hurt somewhere, probably on that suicide. I think it was a suicide dive or like a top rope dive or something.
Is that why she had her shoe off or something like that?
Yeah, she got hurt at that spot.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Well, yeah. Go ahead.
But anyway, we'll see, man. I expect Ronda and Shayna to get those belts. Ronda and Shayna picked up the win, so at this point, we sitting at 5-4. We still game above 500. You know what I'm saying? Well, no. We 6-3, so we 2 games above 500. I picked Shayna and Ronda to pick up the win, so yeah. My personal thing would have been Chelsea, but I ain't gonna get there. So our next match we had is the Intercontinental Championship matchup with Gunther defending his Intercontinental title against Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. Now, what I predicted was Sheamus to pick up the win here. And I predicted also that this match would be, man, just meat slapping on meat slapping on meat slapping, and that's what you got. This is very fucking hard hitting. Chops out the fucking wazoo. They chop so hard, make me don't even want to witness or look at no damn chops in this match. This is strong style at its best. This is 3 hard hitting dudes who fucking hit hard. When I say hit hard, I mean kicks, punches, chops, everything. Fantastic match, man. Just me talking about it, I just don't do it justice, bro. This was yet another banger for night 2. This was probably the best match of night 2 so far. Gunther, Sheamus, and Drew put on a hell of a performance. Drew was even hurt. He decided to come out and finish the match right before losing. He even took the fall, took the losing fall. So this was a hell of a match, bro. I mean, this just further solidifies Gunther as the guy, like one of the top heels in the company. And Gunther ended up winning. He powerbombed Drew McIntyre on top of Sheamus, right? And then he pinned Drew to pick up the win and retain the Intercontinental Championship. And this is, maybe they're going a route to where Gunther breaks the Honky Tonk Man 64-week Intercontinental Championship reign. Gunther don't need it, but it'd be a nice thing to have somebody like Gunther represent that record as opposed to Honky Tonk Man. Because Gunther's, his track record is far supersedes what anything that the Honky Tonk Man has done. So yeah, this would be a nice feather in Gunther's cap. What you think of the match, man?
I thought the match was fantastic. Three meaty man slapping meat. That's the best way I can describe it there. Physical, we knew what we was gonna get. I'm glad we got it. And much, I mean, you said everything already. I'm always looking forward to the future and see where this goes. Does Sheamus eventually win the IC title? I think so. I don't. Does he beat Gunther? I do. I don't know. I can't answer that. But there is some left to be desired there because the last match didn't go clean finish. We'll see. But as far as that match, man, match was awesome. One of one of the matches of the weekend, but not the match of the weekend. It was fantastic. I'm really curious to see if we get a IC title match at Backlash. I don't know. We'll see. But like I say, I'm really interested to see what we do after when the draft hits. You know what I'm saying? That's when we can really start digging our fingers into what's going to happen with the major titles. You know what I'm saying? And see where these guys go from here. I mean, Gunther's beating Sheamus. He pinned Drew, so he beat Drew. He's beating everybody. Ain't too many other bodies for him to fight. You know, you can't really do him in Karrion Kross or, Roman Reigns because they're heels. I want to see Gunther get up in that main event, for the world title. Let's see where it goes, man. I'm really optimistic. I'm really excited. Great match though, overall. Fantastic. Those 3 guys have nothing to be ashamed about.
Okay. Oh yeah, man. Gunther picked up the win. I was predicted 6-4, so we riding high. We riding high at this point. So our next match we have is the Raw Women's Championship match between Bianca Belair defending her Raw Women's Championship against Asuka. Now the entrances for both women were great, particularly Bianca's entrance. She has the little girls doing doing her dancers and doing their dance moves or whatever. And the one who stole the show was the little, I forget how old she was. She looked like she was about 4 or 5 maybe. The contortionist. She was she stole the show in Bianca's entrance. And in some sad news at the press conference, Triple H told everyone that on on that exact day her mom had passed away earlier that day. So for her to come out there and deliver a performance like that was pretty cool. On her worst day of her life, it was one of the best moments of her life, you know. And Bianca's entrance from last year was great, but I think this one was far better than that. So the entrances out the way, entrances were great. The match was great also. The bill didn't fit the match outside of that last week when they aired those vignettes telling how great both women were and what they mean to the WWE and just their performances in general. I think that last week vignette was pretty dope. And when it comes to the match, another hard hitting match. Both women showcased their abilities. Bianca showcasing her strength. Bianca deadlifting Asuka up into the KOD for the win. Now I predicted Asuka to win this match just because I felt like, you know, if you're gonna go all the way with Asuka at this point, you should go all the way. She debuted her Japan gimmick, you know, the Kana from Japan, where she's the murder clown, where she's devastating and just don't give a shit about nothing. She debuted that look at the Ray Rumble, and she's still the same. So far, she's still the same Asuka, like the playful, the laughing, the mannerisms Asuka, as opposed to like the serious, threatening Asuka. So we're gonna see after she lost this match, we're gonna see if she's gonna be more serious or she gonna still stay the same. But good match, man. Really nothing else to say about this match.
Yeah.
You just gotta go watch it to see it for yourself, man. And it's not as good as Rhea and Charlotte's match from night one, but I dare to say it's like just a little notch below it, just a notch below it. It's that good of a match with a shitty build. They delivered a great performance. What you say?
Mm, yeah, pretty good match. I think Asuka does need to win more, especially now that she's kind of changed characters, but not so much. But I mean, you know, the counter argument to that is she is kind of handicapped with the PG esque environment of WWE. You know, ain't too much she can really do, so she still has to come out, you know, laughing and smiling and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Even Bray Wyatt and them to an extent wasn't as probably dark as he probably wanted to be, or you know, even Alexa Bliss when she was doing the whole Bray Wyatt stuff isn't as dark as you only can get. So you know what I'm saying? Uh, killer-ish, murder-ish. You know what I'm saying? So maybe after the draft or something, we'll see. But also does need to pick up some wins. Maybe switch brands or something. Just keep her and Bianca separated because there's only so much she can do with Bianca's champion. You know, as far as Bianca goes, great ambassador for black women and black girls. Um, good, to, you know, her being a black world champion. Lets little girls know who want to be, you know, professional wrestlers. I'm pretty sure there's a bunch out there. They can look at her and truly believe that they can be world champion of the WWE if that's what they so choose to go. Um, in their professional wrestling journey and just the overall good ambassador for the black community. So always props up to her for that. We appreciate you. Keep grinding. Big thing.
All right, man. So we are in. Well, before we get to the Hell in a Cell match, we have yet another appearance from The Miz and Snoop Dogg. And it's like the previous night. They go out there, they talk about, Miz talks about the position Snoop Dogg put him in the previous night with an impromptu match he wasn't ready for. And how he had a $10,000 suit on. So what does Snoop do? He makes another match. Right? And okay, we saying, okay, it's another redemption arc. Let's get LA Knight because we saw Bobby Lashley earlier in the night with his Andre the Memorial trophy. He just went out there and waved to the crowd, and that's it. That's all the action Bobby Lashley got at WrestleMania. So we knew it wasn't going to be Lashley. Or we didn't know at that point. But it could have been LA Knight, but yet it wasn't. It was the return of Shane O'Mac. We ain't seen Shane no match since last year's Royal Rumble. He's been gone for like literally a whole entire year. The match where he got paid the most to be in there for about 4 minutes and be dumped right out and be in the final four nonetheless. We got Shane O'Mac back at WrestleMania, and the craziest thing about this match is Shane goes to throw Miz to the ropes. Shane goes for a leapfrog, and his tire just went flat. He tore his quad on that leapfrog. He tried to get back up, but he just couldn't. So we knew something was wrong as soon as he landed. He tried to attack Miz, but he couldn't. They panned the camera just looking. It was awkward that they panned the camera on Miz the entire time. But shout out to Snoop Dogg for improvising the way he did and delivering a KO punch to Miz, and then one of the craziest looking people's elbow in WrestleMania history. That's gonna be a moment that's gonna go down in history. Like, they're gonna replay that moment forever in WrestleMania history.
And it came from a botch.
Yeah, it came from
out of a botch, but yeah. Snoop Dogg is a ultimate entertainer, and he picked up the pieces and know how to get the people back and rolling. You know what I mean? Yeah. Delivering, it's called the doggy elbow. It's not the people's elbow. It's a doggy elbow.
Well, whatever it is, it did the job, but it was funny nonetheless. Just looking at the shit. But true professional and Snoop, man, way to improvise. Hope Shane is feeling good, man. And yeah, that was that segment, man. I don't even want to harp on it too much more, but yeah, way to improvise, Snoop. So let's head on to the second to last match of the night, which is the Hell in a Cell match with Edge versus the Demon Finn Balor. The entrances for this match was off the chain. We had the original Cell back. About time. It's been years since we had the original cage for the Hell in a Cell. Not that red dumb shit that it used to have. I'm glad it's gone. Edge came out with his Brood entrance, pretty dope, right? And Finn Balor came out in his Demon entrance, which is also pretty dope. We haven't seen the Demon since Extreme Rules. What, a year before last? Had to be in 2021. Yeah, Extreme Rules 2021 in September. We was there actually when the Demon was on top of the turnbuckles. The turnbuckles broke. He fell off and he lost to Roman Reigns that way. And that night, the Demon had died. So this was some sort of redemption for the Demon. And in this match, I predicted Balor to win this match. Crazy spot in this match, right? Where Edge picks up the ladder and he flings it at Balor. And it hit Balor strong, like straight to the dome. And immediately, he started bleeding immediately on the mat. Like, you saw it. It was instant. Not as quite as like Eddie Guerrero's blade job at Great American Bash, but it was damn near close. But when he posted that picture of the cut he had, shit, that cut was brutal, bro. I would say the match really underwhelmed, in my opinion, to me, because I felt like after that spot, they had to wait. Edge had to buy time so the doctors can work on Finn, and I think they just went a little quick on the finish after that happened, just so they can get Finn to the back and work on him. And you know, Hell in a Cell matches, blood adds on to the effect of a Hell in a Cell match or a feud like that. So I feel like they should have left that in, but I understand we are in the climate that we are in now when it comes to wrestling and shit like that. And blood, WWE, they're really strict about that. Yeah, man. Edge picked up the win with the double concerto on the Demon. I thought it was the wrong decision just because Finn will beat her and Edge won't beat her the night after, you know. But Edge won, man. So at this point, I was 6-6, 500 record. What you said about the match, man? What you think?
This is not the NBA. You're not talking about 500 records. It's not the NFL. Okay. I do agree that blood adds drama to the match. Hell in a Cell, but probably not in this instance, just because he got hit hard way. He bled the hard way. It wasn't a planned spot. You know, blood can be great. You know, when it's planned. You know what I'm saying? You do a good blade job. But in this instance, he was split up. I haven't seen the picture like you said, but he was split up and pretty badly. So they had to work on him And the match did go kind of to a crawl because you got a bad time for them to work on them. Yeah, the WWE has this. I mean, they're trying to protect the performer from themselves, which I understand. But sometimes it does take the heat away from the match. Uh, Even after that, they still brought it home a little bit. I thought. I don't think it was as sudden. I mean, you kind of seen it coming. I do agree that the wrong person did go over here. I mean, because think about it, Edge had already pinned him the month prior at Elimination Chamber, or February, whatever. Then he did pin him at Elimination Chamber. So two pay per views in a row, Balor takes the loss. I think Balor should have went over here, but it is what it is. Let's see where they go from here. Uh, Edge doesn't have too much longer. Let's see what they build out of this. Does it create momentum for another program or what? We'll see. Hopefully, no more Judgment Day stuff because that was the end of the story. You put a match in Hell in a Cell, it's the end of the story. So there shouldn't be no more Judgment Day stuff from here on out. Let's see what Edge does from here on out.
I'm 6-6 at this point, right? 500 record. So this one match, it's ironic that this one match determines if I'm a winner or I'm a loser by the end of the night when it comes to my predictions. And the match we're talking about is the main event of WrestleMania now. Right, the match that WrestleMania is built upon, built around. The undisputed Universal Heavyweight Championship match between the head of the table, the tribal chief, Roman Reigns, defending his championships against the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. Now, the entrances for this match, I loved them. Cody's entrance, dope. To where comes out, the jacket's nice. I love the jacket with the wings on the back. He goes out, he goes to the corner, and he hugs his daughter. So so at this point, you thinking like, damn, yeah, this is it. This is it.
Big fight feel, to say the least.
Yeah.
Big fight.
Cody's winning this fucking championship. Roman comes out, has 5 pinup players playing his entrance theme, and he's the final boss, as you call it. He's literally the final boss in WWE. And the build for this match, they didn't get physical. They didn't need to, because it's such a real life story built in within, right? And these two can just save the match just based off talking. No need to get physical. So they get their entrances, and the bell rings, and the crowd on their feet. Like, you hear it. The volume is ridiculous. Craziness. Solo Sikoa he's interfering in this match at each point. At the beginning, he grabs a chair, hits Cody in the ribs. Messes up his ribs. And he grabs Cody's weight belt the second time. Hits him with the weight belt. And Cody's weight belt, by the way, is pretty cool because at all the companies he worked for when he left WWE a couple years ago. And he gave it to Brody Lee's son. He gave it to Brody Lee's son. -1 from AEW, which is pretty cool. So Solo Sikoa hits him with the belt, and that time the referee heard the belt and looked over at Solo Sikoa and threw him out of the matchup. So now we have a legit one-on-one match between Cody and Roman, and we don't have to deal with any outside interference from Solo or anybody. And we get further into the match, and the Usos come out there after a ref bump. And they start beating up on Cody, but Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens comes out there to even the score and get the Usos out of the match. And they even deliver moves to Roman Reigns. I think Kevin Owens hit him with a stunner, and then Sami Zayn hit him with a haluva kick. And at this point, you thinking, damn, Cody Rhodes got this shit in the bag. So Cody goes to hit him with the trifecta across Rhodes, hit him with the first one, hit him with the second one. And then by the time he about to do the third one, Paul Heyman jumps on an apron, distracts the ref. And who comes out there? No more than Solo Sikoa in a hoodie and delivers a Samoan spike, Cody Rhodes. While the ref ref's back is turned, and Roman delivers the spear and gets the 1, 2, 3 to retain the WWE Undisputed Universal Heavyweight Championship and continue his 940 day plus reign as champion. And that finish took the air out of the sails of the building and took everything, like deflated me when it came to that finish. What you think, man?
I think they kind of dropped the ball here in a sense. Just simple fact, this dude was white hot. Just this whole story, basically from WrestleMania 38 till WrestleMania 39. Just the Cody Rhodes story has been probably one of the better stories they've told in the last couple of years. I mean, the dude literally leaves WWE in Dallas, Texas after WrestleMania 32. Comes back 6 years later in Dallas, Texas at WrestleMania. Reinvents himself, becomes a new type of monster. He's not an entertainer for the kids. He's a professional wrestler. He's a superstar. They treat him like one. They book him like one. So he comes back 37, has a trio of matches with Seth Rollins, gets hurt. He's the poster boy for the pay-per-view Hell in a Cell at the time. Tears his pec that morning. Still works Hell in a Cell with a complete torn pec. That just endears him in the eyes of the fans more. You know what I'm saying? He's out, comes back at the Rumble. It's not like, people knew he was coming back in the Rumble, right? They even announced it, and people were still, on their feet when he came back in the Rumble. Like, like sometimes, if somebody like a surprise, say they had a surprise book for the Rumble and that he's gonna be there. Sometimes, okay, I ain't as up for it, but I'm like it was something exciting. I was anticipating, like, okay, he's coming back. Cody's coming back to win. He wins the Rumble. I would have had him fight a little bit more for it, but okay, I think they just wanted to protect him because I don't think he was really cleared yet by that point. And then we get him building up, him and Roman aren't interacting yet, he didn't even mention him yet up until probably before Elimination Chamber. And to put him right smack dab in the middle of the Bloodline story, you have him be not the sole reason, but a big part of getting Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn to team up to take down the Usos, in which that was the successful part of the plan. Night one, and then you get to night two, where Cody's, in the big fight, with the biggest superstar maybe in the last, 7 or 8 years, Roman Reigns. He is the final boss. His entrance theme is a final boss. You know what I mean? And then for him to get this close and lose, it kind of like, damn, it's like just watching it, as he was saying, we're watching it. It's like, damn, they really didn't pull the trigger here. Like, I don't know if they want Reigns to get to 1,000 days. They probably do, which is fine. I mean, I was fine either way. Roman wins or Cody wins. I just really wanted Cody to get this moment at WrestleMania because there's no bigger moment for a person than WrestleMania. He can win it at SummerSlam, which it's to be a moment, right? But it's not WrestleMania. You sometimes, I don't know. I think Steve Austin said it once before, but you can't strike lightning in the bottle twice. And this was so much energy compacted in the bottle. You know what I mean? They didn't let the top off of it, though. They just kept it inside. You know what I mean? So, I mean, he may win it in the future. I just felt like this was the moment to do it. I mean, he had him. Roman's matches are typically, they have a good match, but there's some form of interference with the bloodline. And it just, at a point, sometimes it gets to a point where it's like, all right, enough's enough, and I think Cody Rhodes should have been that guy to take him out because he almost had him. You know, Cody and Roman built this matchup. They didn't have to get physical. Cody Rhodes is so authentic on the mic. He doesn't sound like a typical WWE superstar doing a promo. You know, he sounds more like himself. He uses a lot of big words and whatnot, but it fits him and it sells the. He's got a knack for selling the match, man. It's something about his promos that I love personally watching. Because he sounds so like him, like he's not trying to beat nothing that he's not. You know, I just like it. I just hope he wins the title here pretty soon. I just personally would have done that at WrestleMania. That's the biggest moment you can make a mega star. Roman's gonna leave when he dropped the title either way, right? You have Cody Rhodes beat him that night, and you just establish him as a bigger star. He's already selling #1 merch, man. He trying to represent America, you know, coming out like the bald eagle. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much. Just strap the rocker to him and let's see what he can do, man. I think he can really take the reins from Roman Reigns, literally. He's probably not going to be the face of the company, but he'll be a good face for the company for a while by the time Roman is on hiatus. I just think that we kind of missed the ball. But even though we probably going to get in the future, I just wish we would have done it night 2. You know? But it is what it is.
Yeah, man, I echo the same sentiments. I just feel like if you watch the match and you watched it and didn't come out of here thinking that Cody is the guy, you either dead, you either don't got a post, or you ain't no wrestling fan. Because Cody, from his performance, just his story, and people say he ain't faced adversity, but if you look at his story, from leaving when he left, making a company to where, like he said, 100% in the locker room to make more money, and he did that with the Butts and Kenny and AEW. He made it suitable for other wrestlers to get jobs, and made himself into a superstar. So if you gonna go to that and don't think he's a star, I don't know what to tell you. But WrestleMania was the time to do it. They didn't pull the trigger like you said. He may win it at SummerSlam, but it ain't WrestleMania, man. You don't get those moments. Those moments come far and few between. So time will tell if this moment will come back and bite WWE in the ass. We'll see.
It's just. Oh, my bad, not to interrupt you, but it's just like like you just said, like it was. These moments are few and far between, but this was just like the right person, the right time, the right moment, the right atmosphere. Everything was supposed to happen in SoFi State. Like just the dude coming out, you know what I'm saying? Everybody singing his freaking entrance thing. You know what I'm saying? They still do it now, but it's just like on that stage in front of 80,000 people. You just got to put him over. I mean, records aside, personally, it could have been predictable. That's probably why they didn't want to do it, but you still do it. Sometimes predictable is not bad. In this case, it wasn't bad. They should have done it. But we're gonna see where this story goes, bro. I'm anxious, man. I want to see him win that. But I want to see him get that what he deserves. I feel like he's one of the only top wrestling families that haven't had a world champion. You know what I'm saying? I don't think there was a world champion in the Rhodes family, at least in WWE. Give it to him, man. You know, I think he's earned that much. You know.
Yeah, man. Time will tell, man. We'll see. Right now, he's in the feud with Brock. We'll see where that goes. It should go with him defeating Brock, and we'll see where it leads to after that. So, that is our review of WrestleMania 39. Great show. On the cusp of being, in my opinion, one of the top 5 WrestleManias of all time. Just me. It's still, I don't want the finish to negate how great the show was. Cody and Roman still had the match of the weekend to me. I just wish the finish was Cody going over Roman, like I predicted, but it wasn't. So, watch the WrestleMania. It was one of the greatest WrestleManias to ever be produced in a long time. So, if you enjoyed the video, man, make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe down below. And we gonna see you for another video. Out.